Welcome back. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists recently stated that studies found the COVID vaccine does not impair fertility, but many women are still reluctant to get the shot for that exact reason. I spoke to Miami-based OBGYN Dr. Jennifer Schell about how the misinformation surrounding the vaccine could cost people their lives. And she knows that firsthand. She shares with me the story of her father, a doctor himself, who recently died of COVID after opting out of the vaccine.
Dr. Schell, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. You're a doctor, specifically an OBGYN, but you're also a mother who had a baby in the middle of this pandemic, and you're someone whose family has been impacted by COVID. So I think it's safe to say that you've experienced this pandemic in a way that a lot of people have not, because you felt it from so many different angles. Tell me what this last year and a half, almost 2 years soon, has been like for you.
A roller coaster is basically the summary. It's very accurate in all aspects during the pregnancy, medically speaking as well. In the beginning, it was said that pregnant women were not thought to be at higher risk for serious complications for COVID-19. And that to me never made any sense, because as an obstetrician, it doesn't make sense, because the pregnant woman has a large abdomen with the baby, the placenta, the amniotic fluid, and everything exerting pressure on the lungs. It made no sense ever to say that they were not, that population wasn't at higher risk of complications and death from COVID-19. Then they changed things, and then they put out many statements confirming. Many of us OBGYNs had this suspicion, but obviously we have to let the virus show itself and perform studies and all of this to prove the things that we know by, I don't want to call it common sense, because it's not common sense, it's medical sense, and everything we studied for years, just like the mRNA vaccine. We study mRNA in medical school, and we're familiar with the term. Many people, it's the first time in their lives that they've heard mRNA. They think it's a word sometimes. They don't know it's just letters. And so for us, it's in a way obvious to say that it's a safe vaccine. To me, it's always been obvious that I shouldn't be scared of it for my clients or patients when they want the vaccine and they want to have children in the future. Finally, it's been confirmed now by studies that it does not cause infertility, because the mRNA is just a messenger that tells your cells to produce antibodies to a virus. I could never fathom a way that this messenger that just tells your cell to produce antibodies to a specific virus, not even a whole category of viruses, can affect fertility in any way.
So where do you think all this misinformation came from? I know a lot of people see things on social media, but specifically to the pregnant women and this fear that they shouldn't get vaccinated, or it can, cause an issue to their child, or it can cause them to not be able to have children in the future, or this idea that it affects your menstrual cycle to the point that other people who didn't get vaccinated, but they're around a vaccinated person. I see your reaction there. Where did this all come from? And as someone who is an expert in this field, how frustrating was it to see this information being spread?
It's very frustrating. I want to go on rooftops and yell it, because as a doctor, you want to save lives and help people stay healthy. And when you hear all these things, you can't, again, using the word fathom how people can think these things, but it's fear. It's fear, and fear, what people say, fear mongering and all these things. It's what's going to cause misinformation out there, and people who are not doctors or not even in the medical field at all giving their research opinions, and their research is literally putting words on Google and just reading from web pages that are not really reputable, and not reading the science. And just sadly, it's how the world views doctors. They don't trust us for some reason. Back in the day, doctors were very respected and very trusted. And yes, of course, there's things in history that are not okay in the medical field, but we've come a long way. And in the beginning of the pandemic, we were heroes and the frontliners. I was not a frontliner. I was pregnant at my house. But, and when people would call me a frontliner, I'm like, no, I'm not right now. Right now I'm home with Billy. But frontliners were heroes and people were putting hearts for healthcare workers and nurses and everybody at the hospitals and the people that clean the hospitals and all of this. And now again, doctors and nurses are bad people and they're trying to inject us with chips. Where do they even get that? I don't understand. Sorry, it's just frustrating.
I can sense the frustration. And I know this is also personal for you, not just as a doctor, but from a family perspective. Do you mind sharing just a little bit about how this has touched your family and what you went through personally?
My father, who was an OBGYN as well, passed away a month and a half ago from COVID-19, and he was touched by misinformation. And I cannot speak for him, sadly. I cannot ask him anymore, but I remember him being afraid of the vaccine and saying how it could maybe hurt his DNA or something. And I never understood it. Maybe it was a political thing. What I know is that the week before he was admitted, he refused one of the experimental drugs for COVID-19. So if he could hear me, I am proud of him for that, because he stuck to his guns. He didn't believe in the vaccine and he didn't believe in the treatment, and he passed away. It's really frustrating to me and very sad, and I'm not going to cry on live air, but it's very sad, and I wish I could have done something. I just want to tell people who are not getting vaccinated to please talk to their own doctors, to ask the real information, to ask their family members, because we are the ones left behind when they die of COVID-19. We are the ones, like I mentioned, roller coaster. I, as a doctor, didn't even know how crazy this virus is. I had days where I would wake up and one time a call was, your father had a cardiac arrest. He's okay, we brought him back. And of course I'm crying in that morning. And then in the evening, this is just one day, a few hours later, the doctor calls me. I have no idea how his pulmonary status has improved so much. And it was like a miracle. And then the next day, never mind, he didn't improve as we wanted him to improve now. Now he's actually worse. And then, oh yes, he's better. It was day and night. You could, from the 6 a.m. call to the 6 p.m. call, it was day and night sometimes. So I don't wish that on anyone. And if you're out there and you're unsure, talk to your doctors. And if you're unsure and you want to trust me, who has lived through this, get your vaccine. mRNA, not the Johnson & Johnson. Honestly, the mRNA vaccines. And if you haven't gotten your booster and you qualify for it, go for it as well. I've had people hesitating for the booster. I'm like, the more boosters, the better for me. I want to be covered, and my family. So I can't wait for my children to be able to be vaccinated. The first thing I'm gonna do is plan a Disney trip as soon as they get vaccinated.
When facing returns, it's been 3.5 months since protesters took to the streets demanding change in Cuba. So what exactly has changed? We talked to a local activist about what still needs to be done. Ahead.